I'm asking that question. Okay, friends, welcome back. Welcome to this session. So this session is for Windows Server Administration and Network Administration. Normally we call it as MCAC course and CCNA course. Okay, so this is about those particular courses. Okay. Now before we start our session, I'll just take you to a computer network. Let us see like how much you know about this computer network first. Because when you talk about a computer network, we are discussing about some devices there actually. There are some devices like servers, routers, switches, firewalls. Okay, we know computers very well. So these are some of the devices. See here, this is a server here. There is a switch here. There is a router here. There is a firewall here. And we have many computers here. There is a printer here. Okay, there is some internet connection coming here. You can see the printer now clearly. So there is an internet connection. So this is actually a computer network that you can see in most of the companies around. So what is a computer network? First of all, computer network is a connection of devices together. There is a computer network, connection of devices together. So what devices we use here? We use devices like servers, computers, printers, routers, switches, firewalls. Okay, there is something called CCTV camera also. That is also part of a computer network. So like this, we have many devices in our computer network. Now, the basic question that we need to understand today is, why this computer network? Why we have to connect devices with each other? What is the purpose of connecting a laptop with the switch, and from switch why we are connected to server? Now what is the purpose of connecting this computer to a router or to a firewall? What is the reason for connecting this printer to our network? Why exactly we are connecting all these devices together? So with your basic idea or whatever idea you have, can you please answer this question here, friends? My question is, why we have to connect all the devices? Why we have to make a computer network? What you think? What is the purpose of making a computer network? Okay, the session can be like more interesting, friends, if you can participate in this session with me. Okay, fine. You can send me an answer through the chat box, or you can simply talk to me directly. So I got an answer here like communication. Exactly. Why we are connecting devices? So that devices can communicate with each other. Fine. Okay. I'll make a computer network here. I'll take two computers. Imagine this is your computer. There are two computers here, and one computer is suppose a red color computer, another computer is a green color computer. I'm just using the colors for identification. Now suppose imagine in this red color computer there is some data. There is a folder here with the name like suppose say project. Project folder is there in this particular red color machine. Now can you see any computer network here, friends? Answer is no, right? There is no computer network. The computers are not connected with each other. The red color machine is not connected with the green color machine. There is no physical connection there. Now, if there is no physical connection, if the devices are not connected with each other, can you please tell me, can I copy the same project folder in green color computer? Take your time here, please. Question is a very simple question. If there is no computer network, can I copy this project folder into the green color computer? Yes or no? Again, I got a very interesting answer here. Like Veera Manoj is saying like, okay, by using external devices. Yeah, we can still copy the data into the green color machine by using a pen drive or by using an external hard disk. Just take your pen drive or a flash drive, copy the data in that pen drive and go to this computer, green color computer, and copy it back. That is possible, right? If there is no computer network also, we can copy data from one computer to another computer. That is possible. You must have done this many times actually. Once you take your pen drive to your friend's machine, what you do, you copy some movies maybe, or you copy some games, or you copy some documents related to your college or related to your courses, and you copy the data in your pen drive, and you come to your home and you copy the same data from pen drive to your computer. So this is sharing your data. Okay, so now the sharing of data is possible by using a pen drive, or sharing of data is possible by using a external hard disk. So if sharing of data is possible by using pen drive, then why we have to connect all these devices together? See, connecting devices is not easy. Not easy in the sense we need to spend some extra money. Company have to spend extra money. Company have to spend extra money on cables. Company have to spend extra money on the switches and all those things. So why company will make a network then? The answer here is, okay, if there are two computers, we can copy and paste. That is more easier. But what if there are like, if there are totally like 500 computers in your company? This is machine number 500. Can you take the data to each and every computer? Can you take your pen drive to each and every computer? Can you copy data in each and every computer by using a pen drive? Okay, technically it is possible, right? We can still do it. But see how much time it may take. It may take like, maybe like 10 days, or it may take like 15 days, or it may take like 3 days. It depends on the size of the data. If you copy less data, the copying of data process will done very fast. But if you copy more data, if you're copying like 3 GB, 5 GB, 10 GB data from a pen drive, it will take more time. So is it okay if you take the pen drive to 500 computers and copy data in 500 computers? The simple answer here is no. It will take a lot of time there. It will take a lot of time. Remember our olden days, we used to send letters on a paper. Okay, remember the letters? We used to send letters on a paper, right? So letters, this letters, post office, and we used to have some letters here. So when you send a letter today, the letter used to go to like, after like 1 week, or maybe like after like 10 days, or in some cases maybe after like 15 days also. I hope you remember these letters and all those things. But now what we do, are we sending any letters anywhere? No. What we are doing now, instead of sending a message through letter, we are simply sending a SMS, or we are simply sending a message over the WhatsApp, or we are simply sending a email. So tell me, if your friend is there somewhere in Australia, how much time it will take for your email to reach that particular person? Within a fraction of second, it will reach that particular person, right? Just compose your email, and once you say send, within like 2 minutes, or within like 2 seconds actually, the other person will receive your message through email. But suppose you are sending a courier, you are sending some hard copy, you're sending a letter, or you're sending a courier. So how much time it will take to reach Australia? The flight will take around 25 to 30 hours to reach Australia. It's a very long flight. So it will take like maybe 5 days, 7 days, or maybe 10 days for you to send that particular letter or particular courier to Australia. But if you are using this technology, if you are using a network, then within a second you can send your data to a person who is there in Australia. So this is the advantage of a computer network here, friends. What is the advantage? If there is no computer network, we can still share our data. We can share our data with each other. Imagine the red computer is there in India, and this green color computer is there somewhere in Australia. So if you want to copy this data in a pen drive, and if you want to send the pen drive to Australia, that is still possible. It may take 1 week, it may take 10 days, it may take 15 days, it will take more days, but still it is possible. But instead of using a external storage device, external device like pen drive or something, once you connect your devices with each other, if India computer and Australia computer is connected through a network, any sort of network, it is connected through a network, then within a second you can send the project folder or project file to a person who is there in Australia. That is the advantage of a computer network. That is the reason why we connect all the devices together. So now what we do here, we have a machine called server, and in this server machine, friends, we have all the data. We have a server machine, and in this server machine we have all the files, and we have all the folders. Now all the files and folders we will manage from server, and we have totally 500 computers, 500 people working in our company. So this 500 people will connect to the server. They will connect to the server and they will access the data. Okay, so like this we can manage everything. So all the users are saving data in a central location that is called server, and we are administrators, so we are sitting on the server so that we can manage data in a simple and easy way. Within a second we can share data with all the 500 or maybe like 50 or maybe there are 5,000 people in a company. You know, big companies will have more people, more users. So maybe there are 5,000 people in a company. We can simply share our data with all the 5,000 people. That is the advantage of a computer network. So the bottom line here is, without a network, we can share the data. With network, we can share the data. But the difference here is, with network, we are saving a lot of time. Without a network, we are spending more time here. So time is money. Okay, time is actually money. If you send a data after like 10 days to a person, then you know there is no proper business there. There is no proper communication there. So we should send data within a second. Okay. Hello, Suraj Upadhyay. Welcome to the session, friend. We just started the session actually like 2 minutes, 5 minutes before. So you have not missed anything till now. This is just the initial part. Okay, so we are simply
Thank you.
discussing. Sorry, Suraj.
I said thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, man. Let us continue. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, so I hope you understood what is the purpose of a computer network: sharing information, but sharing information in a much better way and much faster way. That is the main purpose of a computer network. Fine. Now, the question here is, who should make these computer networks? Who should connect all the devices with each other? Who should configure these devices? Who should maintain these devices? There should be some people, right, in a company who should do this work. Like, you know, there is something called accounts department in a company. What accounts people will do? Accounts people will see the financial work, like how much money is coming, how much money is going, okay, how much is the profit, how much is the loss for the company, what, from where money is coming, who are the dealers, whatever. That is the work of a accounts person. What is the work of a marketing person in a company? Marketing people will, like, you know, try to sell the product, whatever product your company is selling. They will just do advertisement. That is the work of a marketing people. So every person has a responsibility in a company. Now, what is the responsibility of this person with the name administrator? Now, we people are administrators. That is, when you learn Windows Server administration and network administration, you are working as an administrator there. So what is the responsibility of administrator here? The responsibility of administrator is, administrator can manage, administrator have the control of the network. Administrator can manage the server, administrator can manage the router, switch, computer, as well as he can configure, he can troubleshoot. That is what a administrator should do. I'll take a very simple example so that you can understand the work of administration in a better way. Now there is a server here. You can see clearly there is a server, and this server name is, suppose it is a file server. Okay. Now we have some people here, and suppose imagine this computer. Okay, on this computer here, friends, we have a user with the name Suraj. Suraj is sitting here. On this computer we have Veera. On this computer we have, like, suppose say Praveen, and on this computer we have, I hope I can use the name Raja. Okay, so I'm using your names here. So we have this many people here, and this many people are sitting on their computers. Of course, in a company, people will be sitting on their computers and they're working, right? Okay, before I show you this scenario, let me just show you, let me allow you to show you that computer network, actually, how computer networks will be there, how companies will be there. So if you have worked in any company, for any company like a call center or whatever job you have done before, you know, the companies will look like this. See, all these people are working here. So maybe he is a Suraj, maybe there is some Raja there, maybe there is some Praveen there, maybe there is some Deepika here, maybe there is some Katrina there, whatever. There are many users working in our company. So all these people, what you see on the screen, all these people are connected to server. All these people are connected to this particular server, and in this case, let us say this server is a file server. What is the name of this server here, friend? It is a file server. This is a file server. Okay. Now, suppose in this file server, there is a folder with the name project again. Inside this project folder, there are certain files here. Like suppose one file here is, like, say, cloud.doc, java.doc. These are the two files available in this project folder. Project is a folder, cloud and java are the two documents. So where are the documents? The documents are there in server. Now you can see clearly. Raja is connected to the server, Suraj, Veera and Praveen. All these people are connected to the server. Now what we said just now, we said users can access data easily from server. Instead of copying data in a pen drive and instead of reaching Raja computer, Suraj, Veera and Praveen computer, we can simply copy the data somewhere in a server and the users will connect to the server and users can access the data. Okay, how users will connect to server, how to configure a server, how to share data, all these things we have to see theoretically and practically. I'm not going deep in theory and practical. It will take more than one class for us to see how this configuration should be done. As of now, we will just see what is the scenario. As of now, we will see like how users can access. Okay, in a simple example. Okay, so the data is there in server. Now, who is sitting on this server? Like I said, you, this server administrator is sitting. That is you and me. You are the server administrator or I am the server administrator. We are sitting on this machine, on server machine. And what we do by using server machine, we configure something, we manage something, we do the administration. We are administrators and we do the administration in a company. Now the administration will be, what we do here is we will say, okay, there is a project folder. Raja user should not access project folder. For example, Raja user is not having permission to access project folder. Okay, Suraj user can access project folder. He can access full project folder. Veera can access project folder, but he cannot access Java file. Praveen can access project folder, but he cannot access cloud file. See what we have done. See, this is such a simple scenario, and see how many things we have discussed till now. We said there is no permission for Raja user to access project folder. Raja user can access maybe some other folder, some XYZ folder he can access. There are many more folders available in a server. So for Raja, there is some other there is a permission on some other folder. But Suraj can access both the folders, both the files, cloud and Java. He can access cloud as well as Java. Coming to Veera, Veera can access only Java file and Praveen can access only cloud file. So this configuration we have to do, friends. This configuration should be done in our server. I repeat, this configuration should be done in a server. See, server is a very, very important machine in a company. Must remember one thing forever. A server will not work automatically. A server will not work on its own. Servers will work according to our configuration. So whatever configuration you do in a server, according to your configuration, according to my configuration, a server will work. So just imagine this is your company, the company that you see on your screen, the network that you see on your screen, that is your company. So in your company, you're the administrator. So what is your scenario in your company? You're not sharing this folder with Raja, you're sharing this folder with Suraj, and you're sharing this folder with Veera and Praveen, but you're giving limited permission. In my company, again, there is a server, there is some folder, ABC folder, XYZ folder. There are some other users, maybe like Sachin Tendulkar is there, Shah Rukh Khan is there, Pawan Kalyan is there. There are some other users there. Okay, so I'm sharing my folder with those people. I'm giving permissions to them. So if you work in your company, if I work in my company, configuration of a server will same. So remember one thing, configuration of the server should be done. Without configuring a server, the server will not work. So like we said before, users can access data easily from server if they are connected in a network. Okay, that is fine. That is absolutely fine. But every user cannot access everything from server. Whatever permissions are there, according to their permissions, according to the permission level, they can access the particular data. So this is what we do as a administrator in a company. We configure server, we manage server. And when you configure and manage server, this is the best example. Raja, Suraj, Veera and Praveen, whatever permissions are there, those permissions we have to set. So according to these permissions, a user can access data from their server. Got it? This is the work of server administrator. Connect your devices together and take a server machine. Again, what is a server machine? It will take many classes for us to understand about server. As of now, I can see only one thing about server. Server is a central machine where everything will be there. Like when you say google.com here, what is google.com here, friends? Google.com is a server. What is facebook.com? It is a server. Okay, what is hotmail.com or yahoo.com? All these are servers actually, right? So each and everything is a server there. So who is managing Google server? There are some administrators sitting in Google company, they are managing Google server. Who is managing Yahoo server? There are some people sitting in Yahoo company, they are managing Yahoo server. Okay, I'll just go to Yahoo server and let us see what it shows now. Okay, when you go to yahoo.com, we can see there is a tribute here from Prime Minister to Milkha Singh. I hope you know who was this Milkha Singh. He was one of our sporting hero. So sadly he passed away. So we can see some news here, right? We can see some news about Milkha Singh, and we see some other information also. Now, if you access yahoo.com after 1 hour, can you tell me, can you see the same information there? Like we can see someone like Kejriwal or something like this. So will you see the same information after 1 hour also? The answer is no. You will not see the same information after 1 hour. Okay, you will see different information there. You will see different news there. Okay, I'll just go and say, like, suppose TV5. Suppose this is a local Telugu channel, so I'm just saying TV5 here. So once I go to TV5 website here, what I can see some news here, right? I can see some news here. But if I go to TV5 after 1 hour, can I see the same news? Of course, no, I will not see the same news. Means there are some people sitting in TV5 company. There are some people sitting in Google. There are some people sitting in Amazon or Hotmail or Yahoo or whatever website you said. There are some administrators sitting there and they are making changes in the server. They are updating information in the server. Okay, they are updating lot of information in the server. I repeat again, a server will not work on its own. A server must be configured. If you configure a server, then only server will work, and server will work according to our configuration. So there is an administrator in Google who will work for the Google, who is configuring the Google server. There is an administrator in Yahoo, and that administrator will manage Yahoo server. Now we are the administrator of a particular company, any XYZ company. What is our responsibility? Our responsibility will be managing that particular server, configuring that particular server, doing administration by using that server. So servers will work according to our configuration. Servers will not work on their own. So of course, normally when you hear like server is a very intelligent device, server is this, blah, blah, blah. We hear many things about server. Of course, server is an intelligent device. But again, server intelligence is there in our fingers actually. Whatever we configure or how we configure, according to our configuration, the machine is going to work. So this is what you should learn in Windows Server Administration. There are some types of servers, like there is something called DNS server, there is something called backup server, there is something called Active Directory server, there is something called WD. There are some types of servers available in a company, friends. So in this diagram, you can see only one server, but I can guarantee you there is no company on the face of the earth where there is only one server available. I repeat, there is no company where there is one server available. There will be many servers. There can be 10 servers, 15 servers, or there can be 300 servers. There can be 500 servers in a company. It depends on the size of the company, but servers will be more, not one. In this diagram, they have selected, they have written, they have added only one server, but one server is not at all useful. We should have many servers. Okay, so this is our responsibility. So I hope you understood what is the responsibility of a server administrator. I repeat again, then I'll take a break here. What I'm saying here is server is a machine. That server machine, we should know how to install, how to configure, and how to do administration. In administration, we can do many things like securities and all those things. Okay, this is what we do as a server administrator in company. Okay, friends, so just take your time, just take 30 seconds, just try to revise what we have said. And in case if you have any doubts here, and in case if you want to say something, more than welcome, please. So we can just discuss something and then we can move to some other part. I can see two people here. One is Ganesh Prabhu, another one is Ganesh Sasi. I think, yeah, these are two different people, right? Yeah. Welcome to this, friends. Welcome to this session, friends. Ganesh Prabhu and Ganesh Sasi.
Yeah, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
We just started this session like 20 minutes before, and we are discussing about like the roles and responsibilities of a server administrator, what we have to do. Like, you know, every person has a responsibility. Like if you take the example of cricket, I think we all are Indians here, so I can take the example of cricket. When I talk about cricket is a team game. Now when I say a person like Virat Kohli, So when I say Virat Kohli, what you're expecting from Virat Kohli, you are expecting some runs, some fours and some sixes and some good runs there. And when I say someone like suppose Jasprit Bumrah, when I say Bumrah or when I say Ashwin, what you're expecting from there? You're expecting some wickets from there, right? They are bowlers. So it is a teamwork. Administration is a teamwork. There can be 10 administrators in a company, there can be 20 administrators in a company, or maybe there can be 200 administrators in a company. So one administrator work is managing server, another administrator work is managing switch, some other administrator work is managing router. So it is a teamwork. It is just a teamwork. So our responsibility as a Windows Server administrator is managing servers. Okay. Now, who will manage routers and switches? Like I said, your server is a machine that we need to configure. Automatically, it will not work. In this same way, router and switch, these are the devices which we have in every computer network. I repeat again, routers and switches we have in every computer network. Without a router, without a switch, you will not see any computer network anywhere. Okay. Router and switch, will they work automatically? Answer is no. Do we need to configure router and switches? Answer is yes. We need to configure router and switches. I'll take a simple example. You know, everyone is using a mobile phone. Nowadays, everyone has a mobile phone. Have you ever seen like your mobile phone is sending a message to someone automatically? Or have you ever seen like your mobile phone is making a call to some XYZ person automatically? Never, right? If that is working, if your mobile phone is working in that way, automatically sending a message or automatically making a call, then first thing you should do is you should take the mobile phone to some service center, because there is a serious problem there. A mobile phone will not make a call by itself. What you do, you just unlock your mobile phone, you check the number in your contact list, and then you select call. So once you say call, then only the mobile phone is making a call. Okay, then only the mobile will make a call to the other person. So in this same way, routers, switches, servers, these are the devices which will not work automatically. Okay, the devices will work according to our configuration. So router and switch also we should know how to configure, and this router configuration and switch configuration will come in CCNA. That is the reason we always say, like when you start a career, you should start a career from Windows administration and network administration. I started my career like in some 12-13 years before 2007, 2008. Then I did my MCC CCNA. Then I have done many other courses. I have worked on many other technologies like Linux, security, cloud computing, VMware. I'm into all these technologies. But from where I have started my career from Windows administration and network administration. Without the knowledge of these administrations, it is not possible to go to any other technology. Like maybe someone here is planning to go for cloud computing, or maybe you're planning to go for security, maybe you're planning to go deep in networks. So from where you should start? You should start from Windows Server Administration and Network Administration. So network administration is your course that is related to routers and switches. And routers and switches, we should know what are the types of routers and switches we have and how to configure all those things. Okay, I got a message here actually. Today is my first day, so fees and the classes. Okay, do one thing, bro. Mr. Ganesh, just try to attend this class. Don't worry about fees and all those things. Just try to attend the class. In this class, you will get some idea like what exactly is our course and where exactly we can move from here. This is just a workshop session. So here we'll be discussing like what are the options available, what are the courses available, and what is our responsibility there. And coming to the fees and the duration and all those things, please you can call the management. There will be a number, or once you finish your class, they will call you and they will inform you all the details. They will share all the details with you. As of now, don't worry about fees and don't worry about the durations and anything. I can say one thing, I am the trainer here. I'll be taking today's class. I'll be taking all the classes. So just feel free and attend the class and ask all the questions, whatever doubts you have, clear all your doubts, then you can take a proper decision. Okay, so don't worry about fees and all those things now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And is it possible? I don't know where is the admin, how much fees, and what about when the start class? Please,
Okay.
sorry, sir. This
No,
I
no
don't
problem.
contact the number. I don't know.
Okay,
Contact
okay.
number.
So this is the first class actually. It is a workshop session. It is not a class. It is like a workshop session. Workshop means just for information we will conduct this class. Okay, so when you registered here, you already registered your phone number there, right?
Yes, sir.
In that link, you already registered your phone number, so the phone number is already received by the management. So management will call you regarding fees and duration. Okay, I can tell the duration also. That is for 35 days. I am the trainer, so I can talk you everything about this subject. But again, I am repeating, don't worry about money or anything else as of now. Just think like you are getting some good idea about your career. Okay, just think in that way. That is more than enough.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay,
you,
so
sir.
just relax and just try to chill and just try to like be free, be open. Just try to ask all your questions. That will be useful for you. Coming, not coming, attending, not attending, that is a different case. Don't worry about those things. Okay, so right now what we have discussed in last half an hour is, I'll just revise in a short way. I said like the administration is, okay, we started about the computer networks. Actually, we said computer networks will be there in every company. Actually, there is no company which is not having a computer network. If you go to shopping malls, if you go to like airports, or if you go to banking sector, if you go to universities, if you go to any multinational companies, everywhere we have computer networks. Okay, now then we said like, okay, what is computer network? Why do we need a computer network? So there was the answer here from one of our friend. He said like computer network should be there for communication. Okay, then I showed them this diagram. Actually, I said if there is no computer network, can we access the data? Like I said, there is a green color machine here, there is a blue color, there is a red color machine. So there is a folder in the red color machine with the name project. So I asked them like, can we copy the same project folder in green color computer? So many people said like no, and some people said like yes. You know, we can still copy this data in the green color computer without a computer network, right? How that is possible? I can simply copy the data in a pen drive. I can go to the green color machine and I can copy the data in green color machine. That is possible. Okay, then I said between two machines that is possible. Between two machines we can copy data using a pen drive. But what if you are working in a company like this where there are like some hundreds and thousands of computers? Can you take your pen drive to every computer? No, that is not possible. It will take a lot of time. That is one part we have discussed. Then there was a solution for this. What is the solution? The solution is, if there are many people in the company, better use a server, better connect all the devices together and use a server. And what we do in server means it is something like serving. Serve means, you know, it is helping you, it is providing some information to you. Whatever you are asking, it is serving you. So what server will do here is, we can keep data in this server. Like we can see project folder I have created. Under project folder I have created cloud and Java file. Okay, so we can create this project folder and there are some files here like cloud and Java. Okay, so the users are sitting here, like say Raja is sitting here, Suraj is here, Veera is here, Praveen is here. Okay, I'll add one more user here. Like we have two people with the same name, so I'll just add one name, Ganesh. One is Ganesha and one is Ganesh. So I hope you can understand now. So there is a user here with the name Ganesh. Now tell me, Ganesh user is connected to server. We can see clearly here, Ganesh user computer is connected to switch. From switch he is connected to server. Now one simple question to everyone here, friends. Can you please tell me, Ganesh user, can he access the project folder or not? I repeat the question. Ganesh user is connected physically to the server. Can he access the project folder or not?
Well, if he is connected to the same LAN local area network, okay, and he have the required or the necessary permission, yes, the user Ganesh can access the folder.
Exactly. The user should have the permission. That is the main thing you said. Actually, the user should have the permission. Don't worry about local area network. Suppose the server is here in India, and suppose Ganesh is sitting somewhere in, suppose, Australia. Maybe he's sitting in Brazil. Maybe he's sitting somewhere in Alaska, minus 30 degrees. It doesn't matter. He can be anywhere. But if Ganesh is having permissions, then Ganesh can access the project folder. If Ganesh is not having permission, no way he can access. Maybe he's connected directly to the server here, guys. Maybe he's connected directly, but there is no permission for him, so he cannot access. So all the things are dependent on the permissions. Now the next question is, who will give these permissions? The permissions, the configurations, everything will be done by the server administrator, and we are the server administrators here. Once you finish your MCAC course or once you do your Windows Server Administration course, there you are learning many things about administration. How to give permission on a folder, how to give permission on a file, how to provide some security, how to share some data, okay, how to create a user, how to manage a user, how to install the operating system, how to install the application, how we can manage all the computers from a central location. All these things you are learning in server administration. So now I feel like most of you understood what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so server is a device using which you can manage your network. So whatever permissions you configure in a server, those permissions will come there. That is your server. And where you are learning everything in your server administration course. Then I said like, okay, network administration is dealing with routers and switches. So without network administration and without server administration, you cannot get a job as a networking person in a company. You cannot get a job as an administrator in a company. Server administration is the 50% of your computer network, and network administration is the 50%. Maybe there are many companies where there is no firewall. That is possible because we can make a server. In server we can provide many security things. Actually it will take around 5 to 6 classes in server where we can see how to provide security. It will take like 3 to 4 classes in router where we can see how to provide security. So firewall is used for security for sure, but I am saying in every company firewall will not be there. In small companies there is no firewall. In big companies of course it will be there. In big companies it will be there, but small companies no. So what we do in small companies, we simply like use our servers, routers and switches, and we provide security there. I'll give an example. Everyone has a house, a family, maybe in your city or maybe in some other remote location, villages and all those things. How many of us are having a security guard in our house? Maybe I can say no one, right? But suppose you're living in an apartment where there are like 30 floors, then of course there are security guards there because it is a big apartment, so security guard will be there. So what is a firewall? Actually is a security guard. So big building there is a security guard, but if there is a single house there is no security guard. What it means, a single house doesn't need any security, it will need a security. But what we do in a single house, we simply provide security by using some lock. You just keep a lock and provide the security. That is more than enough. But in a big building, we need a separate security guard. So in a big building, you need a firewall. So in every company, firewall is not needed. By using router and switch, we can provide security. That's it. So friends, once you do your MCSE and CCNA, once you finish your Windows Server Administration and the CCNA, that is your network administration, you are eligible to get a job in any company on the face of the earth. You are eligible to do any other courses like securities or ethical hacking or cloud computing or VMware or whatever. The starting of your administration career is from Windows Server Administration and network administration. After this, I know many people are thinking about cloud computing because cloud computing is a very hot topic now. It's a very, very important course. So cloud computing is of course a very, very important course. There are many opportunities on cloud computing. I'm taking cloud computing classes also. I'm a cloud computing expert also. But with my experience from 12-13 years, I can say with 100% guarantee, without the knowledge of server admin and router and switch admin, you cannot understand more than 60 to 70% of cloud concepts. Because whenever you learn cloud, you're talking about servers, you're talking about IP address, you're talking about networks and all those things. So where you're learning all these things, we are learning in MCSE and CCNA. So the bottom line is everyone should learn Windows Server Administration and network administration to start a career. Okay, what is the duration? What is the course fees? All these things you will discuss directly with the management. But I can say only one thing, you should learn all these courses. You should learn these 2 courses. Then you can move into cloud, or you will get a job only on MCSE and CCNA as an administrator. So if you want to start your career in administration, networking, normally we call it as networking. If you want to start your career in networking, MCSE, that is Windows Server Administration, CCNA, that is network administration, is the first step. You should not call these courses as a basic courses. I know some people, they think like these are basics. These are not basic courses, friends. Please do not think these courses are basic courses. These courses are actually administration courses. I repeat again, these courses are administration courses. Each and every company needs these 2 administrators. Without these administrators, a computer network cannot operate. How many of us know how to configure a server or a router or a switch? Till now, no one knows, right? So once you know MCAC CSNA, then you know how to configure router and switches. This is the importance of these two courses. Okay, so I hope you understood with some basic example like what exactly we do. So we can feel better when I say this. I'll just write here so that you can see this in a clear way. Okay, no server, no router, no switch, no computer can work on its own. They will work according to our configuration, friends. So just feel better here. The devices will not work automatically by themselves. The devices will work according to our configuration, and that is what we need to learn, how to configure these devices. Now it's over to you. Please take your time, 30 seconds. Just try to recall whatever we have discussed in last half an hour. Just try to understand. If there are any queries or if there is anything you need to say, we can discuss it. Take your time, please. If there is any message, you can simply talk to me directly here. Not only today, in all the classes, you can talk to me directly. Or there is a chat box there. You can see clearly there is a chat box available in this app. You can simply send me a message there so that I can address that particular question. One more thing here, friends. This is only the first class. We are interacting with each other for the first time. We have never interacted before. So this is the first session here. See, I have a way of working. See, classes should be always interesting. Classes should not be like, okay, I'm just telling something for 1 hour. Okay, I'm just shouting for 1 hour. You're listening and you're going home. That is not the way the classes should be conducted. Classes should be conducted in a proper way. Proper way means I'll be explaining you about some topic like for 20 minutes or like say for 25 minutes. Then what I'll do, I'll just take a break for like 30 to 50 seconds. So in this 30 to 50 seconds, you have a time to just recall the 20-minute session. And if there is any question, we will see this question. So in every class, actually, I'll be waiting for I'll be taking a break for like 2 to 3 times. I will not talk continuously for 1 hour, 10 minutes. I'll take a break every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes, so that you will get sufficient time to like revise everything there itself, and you have time to ask any question. Asking a question should be the topmost priority for you, not only today, for all the classes. If you ask a question that is useful for you as well as it is useful for any other person. If you have difficulty in like suppose 2 plus 2 is how much, feel free to ask this question. It is just an example. I know no one will say like how much is 2 plus 2 for sure. This is 4, but still if you feel like 2 plus 2 is it 4 or 3, if you have that much doubt also, feel free to ask a question whenever we start our course. Okay, so today is just a demonstration. I know once we meet, we will not be so comfortable with each other, but very soon, within like 1 or 2 days, you should be very comfortable with me. You should ask a question whenever you have any doubt. If you're taking a question with you, then you are wasting your time, you're wasting your money, because no one will answer that question again. If you go to YouTube, it is like learning something on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you can learn something there. What you can do, you can simply put your headphones, you can hear what the person is saying. But can you ask a question there? No. But here is a place where you are learning as well as you are asking the question. So just make sure you remember this forever. Whenever you are coming for my classes, just make sure asking the question should be the top priority for you. Okay, friends, so that was something we were supposed to discuss, and there are many more things we need to see actually before we start our course. So there will be some demo classes. Monday I'm not available actually. I have like 5-6 classes in a day, but Monday I'm not available because I have some work. Sunday I'm taking the other classes, but Monday I'm not available. So our class will be from Tuesday actually. The timings I will inform you, but class will be on Tuesday. Okay, tomorrow is Sunday, then Monday, then Tuesday will be the classes. Okay, but again, forget about classes and all those things here, friends. We still have time here. We came here. It's not easy to attend a demo session actually. You know, it is very easy to attend a regular class because once you pay fees, you will come there for sure. But attending a workshop session is not so easy. So finally you came here and you're here for last 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So please take your time. I'm available here for next 5-10 minutes. So whatever doubts you have about the networking courses, networking paths and all those things, feel free to ask any question. We will clear everything. Then we'll stop our session. It's over to you now. I'm done from my side.
Uh, this particular course is a combination of both server and network, right? There is MCSE plus CCNA, correct?
This is MCSE and CCNA. Good question. MCSE is a different course. CCNA is a different
So
course.
you don't have CCNA in it, kya?
In it, no. CCNA, I have to take a different
Hello?
class. Yeah, hello. Can you hear
You
me,
don't have
Suraj?
CCNA part of this? Yes,
We
I
have
can hear you.
Yeah. So just listen carefully, please. We have CCNA. This is my CCNA class actually. We have CCNA classes, but see, MCSE will take like 35 days and CCNA will take 35 days. We have CCNA, but we are not taking MCSE, CCNA at the same time. MCSE will be at some other time, CCNA will be at some other time.
Okay, okay.
Both are different courses. MCSE is a Windows Server Administration course. CCNA is a Network Administration course. Both the courses will be taken by me. I'll be handling both the courses there. So both the courses have a different class. It's not like suppose morning 8 a.m. to like 9 a.m. you're learning MCSE as well as at the same time you're learning CCNA. No, that is not like this. Okay. Now
Yeah.
there is a question here. Yeah, Suraj, go ahead, please. Okay, there is a question here like, is there any lab session? Now, can you see all these files here? Ganesh, these are the files actually related to my some other class. That is my CCNA 930 class.
Okay.
I just finished my class today, and these are the practicals. These are the
Okay. Yeah.
practicals we have done. Without practicals, you cannot learn. See, starting there will be some theoretical concepts, but you know there will be many practicals there. So what I do in practicals, I'll just try to like show you practicals in a simple way. Simple way means I'll just show you like, okay, step by step we should do all these things. And one more thing, I have created a book for Windows Server Administration as well as network administration. I have already created a book. So that book I'll be sharing with you. The lab manual I'll be sharing with you. So don't worry about practical, but again, it is a good question. Whether it is Windows Server Administration or network administration, without practicals, you cannot learn anything. First, you should know the theory, then you should know the practicals. What you see here is a practicals. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. And one more question is like how we can practice from our side on topic discussed in the class. Okay, again a good question actually. Now, what I do here is I'll share all the softwares with you, whatever softwares you need for practicals. You just need one computer with minimum 6 GB RAM. If you have a computer or a laptop with minimum 6 GB RAM, you can do all practicals. How that is possible? You know, there is a simulation software called Cisco Packet Tracer. This software is designed by Cisco. So what we can do here, we can make a network. There is something called router, there is a switch, there is a computer, there is a laptop. Okay, I'll show this in CCNA in more details. As of now, I'm just show you how to make the connections here. So this is our network is ready, fine, we can configure now. Okay, this is for CCNA, and for MCSE there is something called VMware Workstation. This is a VMware Workstation software. See, I have like morning at 9 evening 9 p.m. MCSE batch, morning 7 a.m. MCSE class, and there is a person from Sweden, so there is a class for them. So like this is your window, this is your VMware Workstation software using which you can do all practicals. Okay, I'll just show you one more thing here. Now the class is becoming more interesting actually because of questions in a way. I'll just go to this server. I'll power on this server. I'll just show you how server will look, how Windows Server will look. And meanwhile, when this server will take some time to come up, so I'll just go to this router here. This is actually a router. Whatever I do here, friends, this is what you do on a real router. I'm not explaining you anything. I'm just showing you some commands here. So if I say host name here, like suppose say India. See, something has changed here, India. So this is your actual router configuration. So we use this Cisco Packet Tracer for router configuration. And coming to this server, this is your server machine. This is called Windows Server 2016, 12, 19, whatever. So we use this Windows, we use this VMware workstation, and we do this practicals. I already shared all the softwares and all the data with the management. So after like 3-4 days, starting 2-3 days, it will be like very basic classes. After like 3-4 days, they will share all the softwares with you, and I'll show you how to do this installation and how to do the configuration in classroom. And you'll get the recorded classes. I hope you know this. You'll get all the recorded classes. So you can simply go through these classes, recorded classes again and again. And like I said, we already have the practical book also that I have created. And you can go through these practical books in case if you're missing some steps. So this book is for CCNA, what you see on your screen. And there is one more book for this is your Windows Server. So it will be like this. I'm just scrolling down here so that you can see there are nearly 300 pages here. So you'll see all the practicals like this. Okay, so let us go to the server once. Okay, there is one more question here, like why not Zoom meeting use? Okay, both are same actually. GoToMeeting and Zoom meeting, but you know, GoToMeeting, they have some other advantages, so they will go with GoToMeeting. Anyhow, you'll be getting the recorded sessions there. So it is also a very, very useful app for conducting online classes. So now this is your Windows Server actually. This is what server administration is all about. So once you go to this Windows Server, it will take like some more time, maybe like 30 seconds to come up. Okay, so this is your Windows Server, and using this Windows Server, we can see how to configure each and everything. So the Windows Server configuration will be graphical actually, and CCNA routers and switches. In CCNA, we'll learn routers and switches, and that configuration will be like CLI. Windows is graphical and Cisco is CLI. So fine, this is what server is all about. So I'll share the softwares with you. I'll share the documents with you. Okay, so and then I'll show you like how to use the softwares in your computer and how to do all the practicals. There is only one condition: you should have minimum 6 GB RAM in your computer. Then each and everything is possible. You can do all MCSE practicals and all CCNA practicals. Okay, friends, so let us go to server once. Yeah, this is server. See, we can see there is accounts department here, and there are some people like Ajay, Ali, Alia, Anamika, Bunny. If you go to like marketing, we have some users like Raj, Ramos, Federer, Ruhan, Sai, Salman. Sales, we have U1 and U2. So from where these people came actually, from where this Kapil, Karina, Katrina came, this will not be available in server by default. So we have to create them. We have to add them. Like how to do that? Like I'll just right click here. I'll show one simple example here. Ganesh. Now can you see the Ganesh account created here? That's it. This is your server administration. Server administration, network administration, practical wise, it is not a big deal, friends. Because I'll show you the practicals. You have the recorded classes as well as you have the practical book. Practicals are not a difficult thing. The main thing is the concept. If you know the concept, then you know it is very easier for you to get a job, because in interviews they will ask you a question. If they say 2 plus 2 is how much, we should say 4. If we say 4, then only the answer is correct, right? Because you know the concept of addition. 2 plus 2 is how much? Or if I say like 5 plus 5 is how much, you know 10. Or if I say 5 multiply 5, you'll say 25. So you know the concept there. So here also we should learn the concept. I can say one thing in a friendly manner: networking courses are easy if you follow certain basic things. If you're following like a harder way, like if you're thinking networking as a technology, and if you're like putting pressure on yourself, then you know it will become a bit difficult. Technology is created by people like you and me. Technology did not came from the sky, right? It is created by you and me. It is designed by people like you and me. So the people can design what we should do. We should simply learn what is the design. So it will be very easy for us to learn the technology. It will not be difficult. So when you come for the classes, then you can see like in more details, like how we are learning, what procedure we are following. Okay, I will not only taking the classes here. Actually, I'll be preparing you for interview also. I have created many interview questions first of all. Okay, that is a different thing. I'll share the question answers with you later, but I'll be asking questions every day. Like I'll say like, okay, this is the topic today. Like suppose the topic is router, or the topic is IP address, or the topic is server, whatever server. I'll say, okay, this is the server. This is the way to configure the server, and these are the troubleshooting things we can do in a server. Then the fourth thing I'll share here is, okay, from this server, these are the interview questions. From this servers, these are the interview questions we need to face. Like suppose someone is in Delhi and he is coming to Hyderabad. So when he come to Hyderabad, what will you do? What he will do? He will select, okay, if he is coming to Hyderabad, in Hyderabad, he should visit so and so places. He will mark the places and he will come. Although there are many places in Hyderabad, but there are certain places that he should visit. Now, suppose we are going to like Mumbai, Bombay. If you want to go to Bombay, you mark your places, right? Okay, in Bombay, there are many places, but I need to visit these places. Interview questions will be like this actually. There is a server, but in this server, okay, these are the interview questions. So all the interview questions we'll be discussing here. We'll be preparing ourselves for interviews also. Okay, friends, so that's it from me for today. I'll be here for like some more time. Whatever things you need to discuss, I'm open for your questions. Thank you. Okay, Praveen, thank you, friend. Thanks for joining. And regarding the fees and other things, like I said, the management will call you. Fees will be the same for everyone, but still, these videos will be there on YouTube, so it's not good to discuss fees and everything here. So it will be there. Management will be discussing fees with you, and whatever other things they need to discuss, they will discuss. So whatever number you provided, on that number they will call you. Okay, so I think there is nothing else. I'll still wait for like 30 seconds if there is anything to discuss. Or else we'll stop the session. Again, thanks a lot for joining, because it is a weekend, Saturday, it's not easy to join the classes. So just take your time. Take 30 more seconds. If you have anything else, we will see. We have not discussed many things here, especially like what we do after MCAC and CCNA. So those things I'll be discussing in our coming classes. When we start our demo classes, there I'll be discussing all the other details. 1 hour session is not sufficient actually to discuss everything, because most of you are freshers. If you come for like cloud computing class, I will not be discussing all these basic things, because you already know all these basic things. So then we can go directly to the administration part and all this. Okay, there is a question here. Any programming knowledge is required? As of now, there is no programming language is required. But after like 4 years, 3 years, some years, then you should learn one programming, and that one programming is your Python. In networking, you should know only one programming. Okay, I'll be giving the contact number here of the management, 9246 21 21 43. And in case if you want to talk to me directly, you can simply call on this number 9246 212143. Yeah, so you can call on this number and they will connect a conference call. So if you have any doubts, any other things to discuss, you can simply discuss with me directly. So this is the number. Okay, I'll just share the number again. Okay, this is the number, guys. 9246 212143. Okay, friends, thank you. Thanks for joining. So I think there is nothing else to discuss from your side, and that's it from my side actually. So thanks again for joining. So have a nice day. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. See you, man. Bye. Take care.